about Douglas Luiz, because Douglas Luiz is currently on loan at Nottingham Forest from Juventus. He's a loan deal with an option to buy that can become mandatory at the end of the season under certain conditions, appearances of the player with Nottingham Forest. These appearances are not being made. Why? Because it's very clear that Nottingham Forest manager Sean Dyche doesn't see Douglas Luiz as a crucial, untouchable player. And this is why the camp of the player and Juventus, owners of Douglas Luiz, are considering a new loan in the January window. So to formally do something like return to Juventus, interrupt, loan to Nottingham Forest, and loan the player to a new club. Well, the club now trying to make something happen is Chelsea. Despite some calls with Aston Villa, at this stage the situation is not advancing. Chelsea already made an approach to understand the situation, to try to understand if it's possible to do a loan deal also, in this case, for this opportunity to go for Douglas Luiz. Loan deal with no obligation to buy. So it's important to say that Chelsea don't want any obligation to buy, don't want any guarantee on a permanent transfer, only a loan deal, eventually with a buy option, but not with an obligation to buy. Why? Because Chelsea have Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea have, obviously, Moi Caicedo, Chelsea have also more players like Andrei Santos, but also Romeo Lavia, Dario Sugo. These two, Lavia and Sugo, have suffered many injuries, and so Chelsea want to add one more midfielder to give depth and to help Liam Rosignol. Well, that midfielder could be Douglas Luiz. Chelsea already wanted the player in January 2025. Then the deal was not possible with Juventus. Now Chelsea again interested, in contact with Bertolucci, the agent of the player, and in contact with Juventus to understand if he can leave Nottingham Forest or not. So Chelsea interested in Douglas Luiz on loan to provide depth to the midfield. So let's see how this one is going to advance.
Yeah, tough fixture list ahead for Newcastle, actually. At least their defensive injury problems are easing just a little bit with the likes of Dan Burn coming back. We're going to talk Chelsea right now, though, and there could be a bit of action in terms of ins and outs for Chelsea before the deadline. It is Chelsea, so you never know what's going to happen. They could be very busy. They could not be. But what is the latest with Chelsea incomings then?
Well, latest is I'm going to be careful with everything I say about Chelsea because of this guy behind me. But look, latest is they are in the market for a centre-back. Levi Colwill, injured his ACL at the start of the season, opened up a space. And actually, the irony with it is that Enzo Maresca was very keen on bringing in a replacement, and actually they didn't get one in the summer, did they? But they've been in talks with Iran defender Jeremy Jacquet, young 20-year-old. Quite an expensive deal, this one. Could be around like £60 million if they can get that
for a while now, isn't it?
But it has been linked for a while. I think we first reported it nearly a week ago now. So it's maybe the interest stalled a little bit, the noise has stalled a bit, but there's still time in the window for that to take on. And look, Chelsea wants someone who's ready-made, who can slot straight into the starting lineup. There's been interesting movement on Douglas Luiz at Nottingham Forest. Now, the Times and the Athletic are reporting that Chelsea are interested in bringing him in on loan. Now, that's to offer and provide a bit more depth in the centre of the park. Romeo Lavia struggled with his injuries. Usogo also struggled with his injuries. So it feels like that could just bolster the squad a little bit of experience in the middle of the park. I'm not quite sure you're convinced Douglas Luiz is one for Chelsea, though, are you?
No, not really. I mean, I'd be surprised if Douglas Luiz fancies it. I mean, the whole point of going on loan is playing games. And, all right, it's a step up if you're leaving Forest to go to Chelsea. But at the same time, like I said, and again, I'm sure Douglas Luiz has aspirations come the summer as well. Like, you don't want to be going somewhere then not playing. Does surprise me, that one. I agree with the centre-half shout. I think that's been needed. But then I've also seen that I think they've pulled Disasi back into the first team training squad. Yeah. So whether that's Liam having a closer look, and again, he was bought under the sporting director, so maybe the sporting directors have an opinion of him that maybe Maresca didn't. Who knows? So I can see it though, because we've certainly lacked this defensive structure, not just centre halves, by the way. We've lacked a little bit of defensive structure, particularly on the turnover. So. Surprised at the Douglas Luiz one.
Is that? I mean, are you surprised also because he doesn't fit the profile of what they've been going for? He's 27 years old. He's a bit of experience, or is that a sign that they're thinking maybe we do need a slightly more experienced player in there?
I actually don't mind that idea because I agree, and I think most coaches or managers would like a little sprinkle of experience in and around a young-ish squad. I don't think they're actually as young as what people make out them to be. I remember when Chelsea won the league, I think it was only sort of half a year's average age group the first year Chelsea won the league. So, and Liam's worked with a younger squad in Strasbourg. So, listen, I think if you're sprinkling a little bit of experience amongst the group, particularly Premier League experience, I think that's a good move. But whether that needs to be in the central midfield area, I'm not so sure. But
yeah, money there already.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would look. I mean, and they've got Santos that I know Liam likes from his Strasbourg time. So
he's done well when Caicedo's been out as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, and listen, I think Reece James can play in there, albeit I'd much rather see him playing right back week in, week out. But
pretty good holding midfielder, is it?
No, exactly. I mean, we saw what he done to Arsenal in the 10-man team. So listen, he's capable of doing that. But listen, I'm all for adding a little bit of experience, and if it means that it's going to be on loan to stay within the structure, knowing that you can maybe hand him back at the end of the season, that might be what they're looking at.
So, linked loosely with Douglas Luiz, they are definitely up for Jeremy Jacquet and looking at strengthening at centre-back position. When you look at Chelsea, what do you think they need? What positions do they need to improve to go to the next level? Is it centre-back and central midfield?
Yeah, I don't look at central midfielders as that being a massive problem. I think we've got the best number 6 in the world in breaking up play in Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez has done better in the last year than he has done previously. He's actually getting some goals and assists. And I think if you've got a Cole Palmer, he has to play in the 10 for me. Whether that's the way Liam wants to play, we don't really know yet because he hasn't had Cole available at every opportunity. So I'd like to see a 9 that comes in and will score some goals. I know Liam Delap has played a bit lately, but I think we're lacking in that area. Whether we can get someone in who's got Premier League experience and used to scoring goals, who knows?
Were you perhaps surprised that Chelsea didn't bring in a centre-back in the summer after Levi's injury?
Absolutely. But again, it's who can you go out and get for, and maybe trying to stay within this pay structure, because I think we've maybe used a couple of loopholes that have got us out of a bit of money problems before. I don't know, selling women's teams and car parks and hotels and stuff. Whether they've got any more up their sleeve, who knows? But we can't go out there and spend, although it looks like the guy from Rennes is not going to be on the cheap as well, but who knows with what's going on at Chelsea. We seem to find a way to keep spending at the moment, but I'm not sure how long that can go on for.
Quite a bit of land at Cobham that could be sold, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Got a few more car parks they can sell off for your NCPs.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You never know what these accountants can come up with, do you?
Yeah, that's another show, by the way. We're not going to do that today, right? Still to come.